Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and in today's video we are going to be going over the top 20 sports coupes. Most of them are relatively modern sports coupes for less than $10,000. We did the top 20 best sports sedans for under $10,000 a couple weeks ago, so now we're on to the sports coupes, partner. Also, two things. One, thank you guys so much for the amount of subscribers we're getting. We're at 98.6K. We are so close to reaching 100,000. And yes, I do have some special videos lined up for the 100,000 subscriber celebration. So get us there and you can see those videos. Obviously, you guys know that one of them is 100 cars under 10K. But spoiler alert, there's a lot of top 100 lists coming out when I reach 100K. Just saying. But today is the top 20 sports sedans under 10K, and the second thing I wanted to say is this is a new GoPro. I have always been filming all my videos on the GoPro Hero 8 for my entire YouTube career. I upgraded. I'm on the GoPro Hero 12 Black, so hopefully you guys like the quality. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. I didn't really mess with the settings just yet, so it might be a little weird. We're gonna have to dial that in, obviously, but yeah, new GoPro. We're moving up in this world, man. Look at us. Look at us. Without further ado, let's get right into the list with number 20.
So number 20 is a car that most people I feel like don't even really recognize is kind of cute. It's the Nissan Altima Coupe. That's actually how you're supposed to pronounce it. Everybody's going around there saying Altima. Wrong. Tell them they're wrong and tell them they're idiots and tell them they smell like farts, okay? The Nissan Altima Coupe comes with a 3.5 liter V6 making 270 horsepower in its front wheel drive. Now you may be scratching your little noggin and saying, wait a minute, Marcus, how come that motor sounds familiar when you're talking about Nissans? That's because it is. It's the same motor that they put in the 350Z, the VQ35, and yes, the G35, and yes, the FX45 or FX35, whatever that SUV was. But yes, the VQ. It comes with a VQ, but it's front wheel drive and a lot of the power is put to other places because it's more of an economy car than something like a 350Z, but it's still a VQ. 19th is going to one that people get so mad at me when I do not include them in my list, so I'm including it here, the Scion TC second generation. I want to clear something up real quick. When I say coupe, I mean 2 doors but 4 seats, so there's not going to be cars like the 350Z or Miata in this, because those are 2 doors with 2 seats. I call those 2-seaters. I know it's not technically correct, but that's what I classify as coupes. But anyway, the Scion TC second generation comes with a 2.5 liter inline 4 making 179 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. It's another economy car, kind of like the Altima Coupe, but this one looks definitely way more sporty. So if you care about the looks aspect of it, I would go with this one. The Altima Coupe's faster, this one's sportier looking. Number 18 is a car I feel like most people probably don't even know has 2 seats. It's the Mazda RX7 FC, or 4 seats I meant to say. But yes, these cars do have back seats. Are they useful? If you have a friend who's 1 foot tall, then they might be useful. But besides that, they're not useful. But they do have the back seats, so it counts, man. The car comes with a 1.3 liter 2-rotor rotary engine making 165 horsepower going to the rear wheels. Obviously, everybody loves the FC RX7, but I just couldn't put it any higher because the reliability really does kind of bring it down quite a bit. But overall, I love the car. JDM legend. It just, unfortunately, you're going to have some reliability issues, obviously, with a rotary engine. Does anybody play Hearthstone? If you play Hearthstone, let me know in the comments, because guess what I just did? For the first time ever, I've been playing since 2016. For the first time ever, I reached a legend, so I'm feeling like a good mood. I just did it like literally 10 minutes ago. I feel so great. Top 17,000 in the world, baby. But number 17 is the Audi A58. I'm actually thinking about buying one of these cars. I like them that much. They come with a 2-liter turbo inline 4, making 210 horsepower, and they are front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, my bad. And obviously, if you get the all-wheel drive model, that is quattro, so that's obviously really good. So the reason why it's so low, though, even though I am thinking about getting it, is unfortunately the power potential just isn't really there. It really isn't that fast of a car. It's kind of heavy, but if you don't really care about the speed and that stuff of it, it's a nice little luxury car. 16th place is a car that I literally will stand on this hill and jerk off on it until the day I die, defending this car as one of the best cars for like a new time car guy. The Acura RSX Type S. It literally is just an absolute tuning monster. It comes with a 2.4 liter inline 4 making 201 horsepower, and they are front wheel drive. That is a K series, and if you know anything about JDM cars, you know how legendary K series motors are. You may be asking yourself, well, why isn't this first, since you literally always put this like at the top of your list? That's why it's not first, because I always put it at the top of my list, so I wanted to change it up a little bit. Overall, yes, this is one of the best though. The tuning potential is absolutely insane. If you like tuner cars, you're gonna love this thing. 15th place is going to a less good tuning option, but still a really cool car, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT. not the VR4. Obviously, the VR4 3000 GT is a tuning monster, but sadly, the base model does lack in terms of their tuning potential aspects. It comes with a 3-liter V6, making 170 horsepower in its front-wheel drive. Obviously, the horsepower number is not great, and I would be lying if I said it's easy to get more power out of this car. It really isn't. The 3-liter V6 kind of has to be boosted in order to make anything, but it's a cool-looking car that you're going to get like, out of all the cars we've talked about so far, this is probably the coolest looking. And honestly, it's probably the coolest of the entire list now that I'm looking at it. But number 14 is the Volkswagen Cado VR6. I have loved the freaking Cado since the dawn of time itself. When Jesus was born, I was sitting there like, okay, that's cool and all, but like, you can walk on water, but do you have a freaking Volkswagen Cado? No. The VR6 version is even better. It comes with a 2.9-liter VR6, making 190 horsepower, and it is front-wheel drive. Obviously, its power out of the gate isn't the best, but it is a VR6, partner. A VR, like, just literally walk next to the engine and it'll gain 10 horsepower. What's that? You accidentally batted an eye at the engine? 20 horsepower. 13th place. Less excited on this one. It's the BMW 428i F32. Another car that I'm actually thinking about buying, the Audi A5 and the BMW here, because I love the looks of it personally. Everything else about it, not the best. It does only come with a 2-liter turbo inline-4, making 240 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. That's not bad by any means. You know, 240 horsepower for honestly an economy car like the 328i's, their economy cars, is not bad at all. Unfortunately, the motor is not the best for making power, and 20s never really have been, but you're not really buying a F32 for power potential anyway. You're buying it because it looks so freaking good. Because if you want just straight up power, then you go with this car instead. Number 12, the Ford Mustang GT Fox body. No, there's not foxes inside the car. I thought that too, but then I went and looked at them and was really disappointed. But no, that's just what they call the cars. Silly guy. It comes with a 5-liter V8, making 235 horsepower in its rear-wheel drive. Now, every year a Fox body came with different horsepower numbers all around. It's kind of like what the muscle cars did in the late 80s, early 90s. They were just changing horsepower numbers every other freaking day. So 235 is obviously just for one specific year, but either way, it's still a really good option. Most people just swap an LS into these anyway. Swap an LS in and have a drag-ready monster. Barely missing out of the top 10 is the Porsche 944. You like how I said Porsche? I said it like the correct way, Porsche. I don't care though, I'm gonna keep calling it Porsche because I'm American and that's how I was raised. This Porsche comes with a 2.5-liter inline-4, making 147 horsepower in its rear-wheel drive. And one time, a long time ago, I accidentally made the grave mistake of saying that the Porsche 944 is unreliable. And then the comments were like, you are an idiot. And so I would like to say, this is a reliable car. Isn't that great? It's a Porsche that's reliable. Yes, it may not have the horsepower as a regular like Porsche 911, but it has all the other stuff. The suspension, the brakes, everything else is still Porsche. Coming in at the number 10 spot, however, is the Nissan 240SX S13, the drift car, the number one drift car. Everybody on planet Mars, everybody on planet Venus, and some people even on planet Earth, you would be surprised, love the S13. It is just an absolute JDM legend at this point, and yes, they're still under 10K. They come with a 2.4-liter inline-4, making 144 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. That motor's not great for making power or anything like that. These cars are absolutely overpriced, like 110%. But so you may be asking, like, how did it get number 10 then? Because the thing is, you're never going to lose money on these cars, right? Like, if you buy a 240SX and hold on to it for a year, you'll only gain money because they're only going up in value, so they're always a good deal. Number 9 is another car that's kind of like that, a car that's just constantly going up in value and you will not lose money if you do decide to buy it. It's the Lexus SC400. The SC400 is an actual dream car of mine. Like, a manual swapped SC400 is a dream car. I freaking love these cars so much. They come with a 4-liter V8 making 270 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive. That V8 is the same motor they were putting in the LS400s, GS400s. It's called the 1UZ FE, partner, and it is incredibly reliable. Power potential is okay. I mean, it's like about as good as like a 2JZ GE, but overall the reliability carries it, and it's good on gas for a V8. Like, it's everything about it is great. Unfortunately, the car is only available in automatics though. 8th place is another car that I'm thinking about buying from it. This is what I mean. Like, every time I bring up a car to you guys that I'm like, oh, should I buy this car? Do not take it 100% seriously, because it's just another car that I added to my really long list of cars that I want to purchase next. It's the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. This car comes with a 3.8-liter V6 making 348 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. That is the BK2 model with the 3.8-liter V6. There's also something called the BK1, which was before this, which had less horsepower, and there's also a completely different motor in this car, a 2-liter turbo inline-4, which also makes less horsepower. But you can find a BK2 V6 for less than 10K, so that's what I put here since it has the most power. It's not the best for making power, but its power out of the gate kind of carries it. 7th place, people are going to be happy that I mentioned. Every time I mention this car, people are like, yeah, woo, Woo! Yeah, it's been mentioned. It's the Honda Accord Coupe 9th generation. Any Accord Coupe is honestly a really good deal for under 10K, but I'm just gonna go with the 9th gen because I love the looks of the 9th gen, and they're like one of the newest ones you can find for less than 10K. They come with a 3.5 liter V6, making 270 horsepower, and it is front wheel drive. That's the same stat line as the Altima Coupe. So you may be like, well, why is this one so much higher? Because it's a Honda. The reliability is obviously much better. The performance that you can get out of the J Series V6 under the hood is much better than a VQ. I said it. I'm not going back on it. These cars are freaking just all around a much better package. It's unlike an Altima Coupe. Coming in at the number 6 spot is going to the wonderful BMW 330ci E46. Oh my Atlanta partner. I have loved E46s since my friend Ben had one, and he made it look so good too. Oh. But either way, the 330ci comes with a 3-liter inline 6, making 225 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. These are another one of those cars where you buy them now and you'll just make money on them. They are going up in price. Everybody wants a 330ci. I see 330ci convertible automatics, like the least wanted models of them, selling for over 10K on Facebook Marketplace, because like these cars are insanely valuable, and they are for good reason. They're a really good car. 5th place is another car just like that, where if you buy it now, you'll make money on it. As a matter of fact, oh, I was about to say every car that's left is like that, but no, that's not true at all. But it's Nissan 300ZX Z32. I love the 300ZX. It's my favorite Z car, even though I own a 350Z. But the 300ZX is just beautiful. It comes with a 3-liter V6, making 222 horsepower, and it is rear-wheel drive. Yes, we've all heard the rumors. Z32s are very, very, very scary to work on. It's not a mechanic-friendly car. If you're new to cars, do not buy a 300ZX. You'll have a nightmare. But if you aren't, and you are okay with squeezing your hands into tight spaces, it's a fun car. It's a really fun car. I'm gonna make a video of the top 20 like best cars to buy that you won't lose money on, because I'm starting to realize there are so many. Because number 4 is the Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX 2G, 2nd generation GSX Eclipse is a monster. It's a legend. It is, again, only rising in price. These cars are freaking really expensive nowadays. They come with a 2-liter turbo inline 4, making 210 horsepower, and it is all-wheel drive. Unlike cars like the S13, this one actually makes sense because the motor that's in it is the 4G63, a watered-down version of the 4G63, admittedly, but still a 4G63 that can get a ton of power out of it if you want to. It makes sense why these cars are rising in price. I don't think they ever deserve to be as low as they were. But coming in at 3rd place, the 3rd best coupe for under $10,000 is the Chevy Camaro SS 4th generation. I tried to include one from each country in the top 3 here, and this is the one I chose from America. These bad boys come with a 5.7-liter V8, making 300 horsepower on the dot, and they are rear-wheel drive. That motor is an LS, for those wondering, so yes, you can get significantly more horsepower out of it if you just like walk next to it and just say, hey man, I like your haircut. It'll be like, okay, 100 horsepower, here you go. They're monsters in a straight line. Obviously, they're not good at handling. Obviously, they're pretty ugly. Yes, catfish Camaros are very ugly. I'll admit it first. But overall, if you want just like a race car, here you go. 2nd place is the Japanese car that I chose for the top 3, even though technically it's an American car because Infiniti is an American company. It's the Infiniti G37 Coupe. The Infiniti G37 Coupe, or Nissan Skyline V37. Ha! That's how it's JDM, because that's the same car. Comes with a 3.7-liter V6, making 330 horsepower, and it's rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. This, oh my goodness, you guys are never going to expect this to happen. Ready for it? Ready for it? I'm thinking about buying this for my next car. That's right. That's right, I love the G37 Coupes. I always have. The VQ37s are really good motors. They're both reliable and good for making some power if you want to. They sound good in my opinion. I know the trumpet jokes, but I think they sound good. I think they look good. Overall, they're just a really, really good package. And again, I know Infiniti's technically an American brand, but we all know it's Nissan. But 1st place, I couldn't lie to myself, and I couldn't lie to you guys. In my opinion, the best coupe for less than $10,000 is without a doubt the BMW 335i E92. These cars are just good in almost every way. There's one big downside, and we'll go over that in a second, but every other way they're great. They come with a 3-liter twin turbo inline 6, making 300 horsepower, and they are rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Now, what's that big downside Mark was talking about? Well, the reliability. It kind of sucks. It's kind of unreliable. It kind of has a lot of issues, especially when you start to modify it. So just keep it stock, which, I mean, no, I know you're not going to do that, but if you did keep it stock, it would be still reliable. But even if you don't, man, it's everything else just makes it so much better. It's such a good car. Its performance potential is insane. It looks really good. In my opinion, it has the top of the tier luxury. But if you want a car that's more reliable, if that's what you really care about, I would go with the G37 Coupe, though, over this car. This car really does have a bad reliability rating. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video of the top 20 best sporty coupes. I don't know what I'm going to call it.
we'll see, for less than $10,000. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. I'm probably going to do that idea I just came up with in the middle of this one, where I go over cars that are going to rise in value. That way you like don't lose money on them, because I think that's actually a good idea. I think it's a wise one there. And again, obviously these cars are for car guys. If you aren't a car guy and you're just a regular dude on the street, just get like if you really want a coupe, just get like a Civic coupe. You know, like that's the best option for you, man. It's reliable, it gets you good gas mileage, you'll be all right. But these are for car guys that want a coupe, but a cool coupe, you know, like something that packs a punch, like some Hawaiian punch, fruit juicy red. That's what we're going for here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how the quality to the new GoPro is, and I'm gonna get back to working on my secret hidden super ultra Fort Knox videos for my 100,000 subscribers special. Thank you. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.